baton, and they chase me, but they can't erase me, though they incarcerate me. It doesn't kill me, it just awakes me. That's God, that's God in me, that's God, God in me, that's God, God in me, that's God in me, LA and
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm probably not gonna stay here that long. I was actually comfortable in the bed watching TV with my wife. However, this story here. The U.S. rejects vote to recognize slavery as a crime against humanity. This story here. I just wrote that song, by the way, the one I just played.
U.S. rejects vote to recognize slavery as a crime against humanity. This article is by Ruth McLean and read by an automated voice. The United States voted against a United Nations resolution this week to formally recognize the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. The resolution, which was led by Ghana, urged UN member states to apologize for the slave trade and to contribute to a reparations fund. On Tuesday, before the vote, John Mahama, the president of Ghana, said that American schools were being discouraged from teaching about slavery and racism. He called the resolution a safeguard against forgetting. Policy groups, human rights organizations, and academics have accused...
He's right. He's right. Shout out to Roland Martin. This is where I seen this. Originally seen this story, but then I have a subscription to the New York Times. So when I actually did look at the New York Times, it was actually there. But the way Roland Martin broke it down, and we'll take a look at it in a second, it's really deplorable. But I'm not that shocked, to be totally honest with you. Here's the thing. I've already spoken my piece, and I will continue to speak to those individuals who want to move forward as melanated people with higher expectations for ourselves, and not so much waiting for some. First of all, no white saviors coming to save you. No Jesus Christ and none of that BS that you, whatever you believe, you can boof that. None of that is happening. You gotta wake up. Second of all, we have to be accountable for our actions. You don't so much need a leader. We just have to be willing not to stand for anything, even if it's against our own people. So I don't know how reparations is kind of like looking for you guys who is looking for reparations and sitting around waiting for reparations. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. if they don't even want to recognize slavery as a crime against humanity in 2026, yeah, I don't think you're getting no type of reparations. But let's continue listening to the New York Times before I play Roland Martin, and I also play President John Mahama of Ghana. His speech at the UN.
President Trump of minimizing black history in the United States. He has accused the Smithsonian Institution of focusing too much on how bad slavery was, and not enough on the brightness. He has signed executive orders on education that called for the end of radical indoctrination in K-12 schooling, and criticized the teaching of subjects such as white privilege.
And that's crazy. All that critical race theory, that's just nuts. This is crazy. Not even to recognize it is nuts.
The African Union has declared 2026 to 2035 the decade of action on reparations, and Ghana, which has among the most slave forts and castles in the world, is leading the charge. Many slave ships departed from the Ghanaian coast during the transatlantic slave trade. Ghana has encouraged people with African ancestry to seek citizenship in the country. A 2019 initiative invited those of African descent to live and work in Ghana as part of a Right to Return campaign meant to connect people in the African diaspora to their ancestral roots. The trafficking of enslaved Africans and the centuries of racialized chattel enslavement that followed have not been resolved, Ghana's Foreign Minister, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, wrote before the vote. He has said that reparations should be given to all people of African descent, and that the descendants of slaves should be given money to set up businesses and funds for education. Dan Negria, a U.S. representative to the UN's Economic and Social Council, called the UN resolution highly problematic on Wednesday and objected to its attempt to rank crimes against humanity in any type of hierarchy. Mr. Negria also accused the sponsors of questioning President Trump's support for black voters in the United States. President Trump has done more for black Americans than any other president, he said. He's working tirelessly to deliver for them. The United States, Israel, and Argentina were the only nations to vote against the resolution.
It's crazy.
By continental bodies, nations, experts, scholars, and jurists, with the sole aim of achieving a united front and grounding the final outcome in truth, compassion, and moral conscience, remembrance, education, and dialogue. So today we come together in solemn solidarity to affirm truth and pursue a route to healing and reparative justice. The adoption of this resolution serves as a safeguard against forgetting. It also challenges the enduring scars of slavery. Madam President, let me conclude with two significant quotes by two great leaders of history, one of them white and one of them black. The former President of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt, said, and I quote, "With a great moral issue involved, neutrality does not serve righteousness. For to be neutral between right and wrong is to serve wrong."
Sure.
Again, civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King also reminds us, and I quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." We've traveled this long road, each step guided by a desire to be better and to do better. Each step bringing us closer to the kind of world we would want to leave for our children. And so, delegates, on this beautiful day in March, we're called to stand on the right side of history, Let it be recorded that when history beckoned, we did what was right for the memory of the millions who suffered the indignity of the slave trade and those who continue to suffer racial discrimination. Let our vote on this resolution restore their dignity and humanity.
Now, yesterday, Ghana's president did not hold back criticizing the United States, Donald Trump, for their attack on Black history, Black authors, and Black books.
Here in the United States, Black history courses are being removed from school curricula. Schools are being mandated to stop teaching students.
All of this is true. All of this is true. So this is why I don't be understanding, but I do understand, but I don't understand how so many older Black, I could see if you a young Black man and you out here playing childish games on the internet, you doing stupid shit a young person would do. You being young. But for the amount of older people that's clout chasing internet fame, we got so many things to talk about. We got so much to catch up on. Everything he's saying right now is true. One time I was doing Uber and I picked up a guy and we're having a conversation, and I just so happened to pick up a guy who me and him was talking about how the school system had allowed some books into the school system that said that Black people were volunteers. He was just so happened to be one of the people. I was telling him about it, and he was like, yo, I was one of the people that called that out and got the books removed from the school. And I was like, wow. So he was part of the team that actually got those books removed. That's crazy. That you would attempt to do something like that while we're still here. But he knows that most adults are not in the classroom, and some of the adults that's there, if they white, they're not gonna say nothing. Well, how much you think they about to lose their job over this shit? They not. And if they Black, they probably will do a little bit of grumbling, but are they gonna take it to the point where, yo, we need these books out of here? Y'all teaching kids all type of lies? These people gonna play in your face. You gotta stop supporting them. Stop spending money with them. People telling me, yo, you talking about the Jews. You motherfucking right, I'm talking about them. Talk about your ass too. Because it ain't right. And if you think for 1 second you're gonna just run the earth and fuck everything up, and then I'm not supposed to talk about what you doing, you're gonna do all type of scrupulous business, and then I can't say anything, you're bugging out.
About the truth of slavery, segregation, and racism in American history courses. Books about those topics are being banned in schools and public libraries. Museums, art centers, and other institutions whose budgets rely in any way on public funds are being prohibited from scheduling exhibitions and programs or from displaying materials promoting racial awareness or Black history. Much like the law that was put in place to regulate the punishment of the enslaved in Barbados, these policies are becoming a template for other governments as well as some private institutions. At the very least, They are slowly normalizing the erasure. They are slowly normalizing erasure.
Now, folks, before today's vote by the United Nations, Ghana's president led a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at the African Burial Ground National Monument in New York City, paying tribute to the nearly 20,000 Africans who were enslaved and buried there. The poignant gesture marked Ghana's commemoration of the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade. It was part of a broader push for reparatory justice. New York City President Zoran Mamdani, he spoke at that ceremony as well.
First, thank you to the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, for hosting today's wreath laying. Ghana is a nation that holds deep meaning for me. My father gave me the middle name Kwame after Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, a leader who fought for freedom. And that longing of freedom unites all of humanity across geography and history. It is that longing for freedom and the sacrifices made by so many to win it that we are here today to commemorate. And I want to acknowledge a number of leaders that are also here with us. It was a pleasure to be preceded by Reverend Al Sharpton, as well as members of the President's team and representatives from across the region, including the Caribbean. I also am here with a number of leaders from our administration. We have our Commissioner, Afia Atta-Mensah, who is here with us. Commissioner Ana Maria Archia from the Office of International Affairs. We have our Public Advocate, Jumani Williams, who is here with us, as well as State Senator James Sanders, Assemblymember Al Taylor, so many other leaders, including our outgoing Commissioner as well. And we are here in many ways because nearly 400 years ago, the first enslaved people arrived at the port of New York. 22 souls, likely from Angola, were originally aboard a Portuguese ship bound for sugar plantations in Cartagena before the Dutch intercepted and enslaved them once more, this time under the Dutch West India Company. And so began a shameful history of slavery here in our city. One that is just as much a part of our story as the Revolutionary War battles that were fought in Brooklyn or the bridges and skyscrapers that defied any precedent. According to New Amsterdam's 1665 tax list, 12% of the residents of this city at the time were slaveholders. By the mid-1700s, New York City was home to the most enslaved people outside of the South, until the Act for the Gradual Abolition of Slavery in 1799. Even then, freedom was partial and often cruelly withheld. None of the enslaved New Yorkers who helped to build Wall Street ever benefited from the enormous wealth that it created. And the dignity and security granted to so many of our earliest settlers was denied to those of African descent, even those fortunate enough to be deemed free. Land deeds once granted were rescinded, the franchise of voting so often out of reach. Our city and its incredible spirit, wealth, and global significance is inextricably intertwined with the horrific history of the transatlantic slave trade. One need look no further for proof than the very ground upon which we stand today, which was at one time the largest cemetery of black New Yorkers, many of whom were enslaved. It was only when construction began on a 34-story federal building on this site in 1991 that our city paused to reckon with what was here. I am grateful to the community members, historians, archaeologists, all those who helped to reveal what lay beneath our streets, to draw attention to the history of our city. And as was said earlier, the tension that also lies at the heart of it. That history must never be forgotten. And when we tell it, let us tell it in its totality. For we know the history of black New Yorkers is not just one of oppression. It is one of resistance, of organizing, of fighting for freedom, among so much else. Let us tell the stories of black New Yorkers who fought in the slave revolt of 1712, demanding dignity only 1 year after the first slave market in New York City was erected at the foot of Wall Street. Let us tell the story of the community of Weeksville, founded in 1838, just 11 years after New York State outlawed slavery, and how it would grow into a self-sustaining, safe haven for escaped and freed slaves with its own schools, churches, and newspapers. And let us tell the story of the many who continue to resist the long shadow of slavery and discrimination. From the thousands of men, women, and children who participated in the silent march on Fifth Avenue in 1917, to the activists and archivists who have continued to honor the legacies of those whose names would otherwise be lost to time. Today, as we gather to remember the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade, let us recommit to the work of building a New York City where every New Yorker can live a life of dignity and freedom that so many other New Yorkers were so cruelly denied, that so many sacrificed so much to obtain. And in a city that is proud to celebrate the intertwined nature of Black history and New York City history, let us also ensure that this is a city where the writing of Black history can continue in the weeks and months and years to come. May we honor the memory of those that we have lost as we build a New York City worthy of its struggles.
All right, folks, we have Jahan LeBlanc back. Jahan, you were saying that it's a resolution, but the reality is it is important to see the folks who are on record and where they stand in terms of other countries.
No, absolutely. I think part of this process, part of the reason that President Muhammad this resolution is because he wanted to elevate the conversation politically, and certainly diplomatically. So I think it's a good step.
Shout out to everybody in the building. So apparently there was a vote to recognize slavery as a crime against humanity. And 3 nations voted against it. I laugh, not that it's funny. It's not. It's definitely anything but funny. Now, here's the thing. Some nations actually decided not to partake in the vote at all. So they abstained from. There was like 50-something countries that abstained, and I'm pretty sure if I use Grok or something, I could find out what those 50 countries were, right? And then there was 100-something countries that was like, nah, it's definitely a crime against humanity. Let me see if the news got to Grok yet. So I can get the names of those 50 countries. Are you aware of the UN vote to recognize slavery as crimes against humanity? Yes, I'm aware. All right, here we go. It ain't waste no time. 123 votes in favor, 3 votes against. The United States won. You already know who's second. Israel and Argentina. Argentina. Don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Argentina. 52 abstentions, including the United Kingdom, and all 27 European member states. And y'all want me to give a fuck about talking about some Ashkenazis who's stealing somebody else's fucking identity? Y'all be like, yo, you talking about Who am I talking about? Do you even know who I'm talking about? You don't know who I'm talking about. You think I'm talking about somebody because they told you they Jews. The facts is the facts. And I get those facts from their own goddamn scientists that say, yo, we are not genetically. It was in the new. By the way, it was in the 1993 LA Times, right? I had somebody come up and say, you don't know that to be true. You're just talking. Why the fuck would I just talk? Do you even know me? I don't just talk to talk. Just because I'm not going to go do the research for you and bring you the source. I've done plenty of shows where I've shown the sources of the Israeli scientists who say there was no connection between these Ashkenazis and the ancient Judeans. I don't have to jump at your whim. You go do the research, sucker. It's nothing you could tell me. I'm not listening to your lies. You've tried to whitewash history. You're currently on the planet committing genocide as we speak. I know who you are. You are the synagogue of Satan. I don't need to sit here and go back and forth with you. And I will not go back with anybody that's trying to defend you or your actions. Now, as insulting as that was for the United States to partake in the vote and then actually vote against the enslavement of my ancestors, as a crime against humanity, there is good that comes out of this, hopefully, because it is a slap in the face, but it is a slap in the face that might be able to wake some people up. Because I like to name names, right? I like to name names. Tariq Nasheed, I think Tariq Nasheed has a complex existence because he started out as some type of a guy that was pursuing to be a hip-hop personality, and he even released the album. The name of the album was Wash Your Ass, right? And he was a womanizer on this album where he was talking like he was like a fake pimp type of situation going on there. And that's, I'm not going to say it's okay, but what happens is when we're young, we're like going through phases and stuff like that. So let's just contribute that to that, right? Years later, past that, we see him do Hidden Colors. Phenomenal movie and documentary. Phenomenal. But people tell me you're only good as your last hit. And I think he was trying something. And he was like, yo, I got a good idea. I'm going to show everybody how everything in hip hop came from the foundational Black American. Which, that's not true. You could talk to uneducated people. Whoever believes that you are uneducated. Yes, I said it. I stand on business. If you believe that, you're fucking uneducated. But a lot of black people go for it because they just mad at white people. Let's just keep it 1,000. And there's no need to be mad at all fucking white people. They didn't ask to be born white. They just was born fucking white. Right? So many of you probably want them to feel kind of guilty about the shit that happened to us. I don't need a white person to feel fucking guilty about anything that's happened to me. But I definitely don't need you in my fucking way talking your stupid shit about this land is equal either. right? And there was no sabotage, and there was plenty of sabotage, right? So when you talking that disillusional shit, I'm not even paying you no mind either, right? Get you the fuck out the way. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. I just need you to get the fuck out the way. That's it. Now, getting back to Tariq Nasheed, as he's trying to figure out his next move, because his next move should be his best move, he did stumble across an idea about reparations for foundational Black Americans. And it's not that I don't think that we deserve reparations. It is that I wouldn't sit around and hold my breath for that shit. And I feel if we was going to put that much energy into asking these people for something that they clearly don't want to give. Clearly don't want to give. Then you gotta up that shit. Now, the black man's strategy has been not working. Not being able to contain your anger, your rage, it has put us in some pretty bad predicaments. One of those predicaments is back in slavery. And while they got you in slavery, you know they like to drug you up. We are not all the same fucking humanoid species down here. I'm trying to tell you something. Don't be out here listening to docile fucking black people either. These niggas out here praying to a white Jesus. And I don't say that to trigger nobody. But I teach a lot of things over here. And I say a lot of things that make sense. I just say it in a real triggering way. That makes people not want to listen to me. Oh, if you would say it nice, yo, fuck you. How about that? How about those apples? I'm not saying nothing nice. I do things for a reason. And I don't have to tell you my reason. You take the knowledge, you don't take the knowledge. Now, Tariq Nasheed was onto something. But then in the same act, he went to go divide us by touching something very sacred, which is hip hop. Don't fuck around with hip hop. Why would you do that? You had your chance to really unite a lot of people right then and there. You gotta remember, these Taino Indians are still melanated. Why would you divide us from the Tainos, bro? You just divided us from the Caribbean folk. You just undid everything the Pan-African leaders was working on. So I had the question. I don't know about this guy. Because melanation is melanation. Today I was supposed to buy a book by Professor Kaba Kamin on melanation, and he speaks. He in this book. I have one of his books. Who were we before the Moors? And I'm still reading that book. But he has another book that I want to start working on that specifically talks on the melanation. Now I've spoken on this melanation that exists in our bodies. And shout out to Stan Lee, the comic book writer who passed away, because he tried to give us an idea of who he was. The whole story about the Black Panther with the vibranium. It's not that we didn't get it, but this other entity down here is working hard on keeping us suppressed. It's working hard. All you have to know is I'm telling you the truth about these entities, and there's a reason they want to suppress you. You are very powerful if you're melanated. In fact, I would go to say that you are superior, genetically superior on this planet than anybody else. But that's not to say that you're better, you're smarter. That's not what I said. I said you're genetically superior on this planet because of your melanation. I'm not asking, I'm telling you. I'm not asking anybody. There's people that can articulate better than me. I'm not asking them. It's not even up for debate. But they know this. But at this point, many people within our culture are on autopilot, headed in the wrong direction. In no way, shape, or form should we support or endorse this type of behavior. In no way, shape, or form should there be black on black hate for no reason at all. If somebody offends you, that is a different question. In no way, shape, or form should we continue to not support our brightest minds in favor for those who are criminally minded. The 5% nation of the gods and earth they speak about. A big head scientist called Yakub. And I always thought Yakub was so smart. However, Yakub is not the only master geneticist down here. If you do your history, black men and women, children, you will find out that the topic of eugenics has been a big topic for quite some time. Creating a master race down here. I say that to say there are plenty of people who understand your anatomy better than you. You don't have the time. You don't have the luxury to say, yo, I'm young, I just want to have fucking fun. Nigga, you will be young and dead. You will be young and incarcerated in a fucking freezing ass 4x4 cell. Talking that I'm young, I just want to have fun, stupid shit. We need militant minds. A militant mind don't mean you run around with a frown all fucking day, but you take your position in life very seriously. You are male, you are a protector of the community. You are female. You are not a bitch. A whore. If you are a whore, then, and that is your job, then respectfully, we respect it. That you are a whore. We recognize you as a whore. We cannot give you our resources, for you are a whore. You understand? Once you step into your reality, I cannot fight you on that. So if you just came to terms that you are a worthless piece of shit, I'm not here to fight you on that. I am in agreement with you. If you like it, I goddamn love it. However, I'm here for those who want a change. But the change doesn't start with the white man. That's like asking water not to be fucking wet. Are you fucking kidding me? In fact, the change starts with you. Everything is not going to be exciting. You want to turn up all the time. You want to be excited all the time. You got to recognize knowledge yourself. Yo, you addicted to dopamine hits all the time. You got to slow the fuck down. Everything that president said from Ghana is true, and I've been saying this. They don't even teach they don't teach none of our children about slavery anymore, which is sad. And it's not about just teaching black kids about slavery. All the kids need to fucking know what happened on this continent. But to say I'm not going to teach a white kid because he feels guilty. What you call guilty, he's feeling empathetic for his friend. You said he was feeling guilty. He fucking listens to his homeboy's music, who's black, and does everything his homeboy. He slapped 5 with his homeboy the way his homeboy told him to. He like how he wears clothes. He likes how he plays basketball. He likes how he talks. That don't mean he about to lose his culture, but he appreciates somebody else's culture. And when he did find out that all of that shit happened, yes, he didn't feel guilty. He felt empathetic and partly shame. That's the part. Don't say this people feel guilty. He felt shame, as he fucking should. Not for himself, but to come from the loins of a fucking monster. He can't believe it, because that's not how he is. So I believe these adults, when they started to see that the culture's getting watered down and there is some integration, then they said, stop teaching it, don't teach you no more. So ignorance is a deadly thing. I even seen what I think the CIA to have gotten involved and spread disinformation on the internet. See, they wouldn't do it through some pencil neck white boy. No, they get other black people to get up here and spread misinformation and disinformation, and then you believe this shit. But check this out. I'm not the one, because I read, and I've been reading for a long motherfucking time. And if you think for 1 second I only read white scholars, I don't. I don't only read black scholars either. So good luck trying to pull the wool over my motherfucking eyes. What I will say is this should be just one more confirmation for you. And it is time. Everything is scientific, people. It's all mathematics. When I say it's scientific, it's all mathematics. You are not going to make 4 lefts and end up anywhere but right where you started. Because that's mathematics. So, I know that's a parable. What I'm telling you is, if you do things a certain way, you will get a certain result. Now, for the past 30 years, I watched you do things the way you wanted to do it. And at the same time, call that shit cool, right? You throw whatever word you want on that shit. But then, only place that shit landed you was in a fucking box. And then you came out like everybody was supposed to give you accolades. Yo, my man just came on from doing 30. I believe you. Fuck you want from me though? Nah, you know what I'm saying? The OG hold it down. Hell fucking what down, nigga? Niggas needed him out here in the real world, paying goddamn bills, contributing, motherfucker. Not taking my little money to talk to you on the phone every fucking few weeks. You know these white people is charging an arm and leg to fucking talk, nigga. Hell, what down? What the fuck are you talking about? Hell, what down? What's up with the bullshit accolades and all that? What are you talking about? Nah, you just don't get it. Get fucking what? No, don't go nowhere. Explain it to me. What I'm supposed to say. You understand? This nigga's moms was out here in the world, beloved, needed protection. His fucking daughters was out here. You understand? We needed more warriors out here. A lot of people, they co-sign a lot of stupid ass culture that I don't be understanding. Then you be thinking like, yo, this nigga just ain't cool. No, what it really is, I'm really not understanding what you stand for. But I do understand why you fall. Don't let that shit go over your head. I don't understand what the fuck you stand for, but I know exactly why you fall. Niggas got muscles, you got money, you got swag. No direction. No principles is the thing. That's the point. That's the one right there. No fucking principles. So you either build or destroy. It's either me or you. And clearly, if you're not with me, then you against me. So now you are enemy of the fucking state if you're not for the black people to rise. We can't continue to condone things that will mathematically leave us depleted of all victory. So there are plenty of things that we must change. Our diet, our attitude, our behavior. But I got one better for you. I'm going to leave you with something that I created for you. With something that I created for you.
About pineal and melanin, the scientific literature has very few objective facts, and many science principles and rules are subjective fairy tale stories called theory. All theories are unproven and unscientific. The objective facts are that black people are a race that has the highest amount of the biochemical pigment called melanin. Melanin is a civilizing chemical, reproduces itself, a free radical protector, can be transformed in the blood, concentrates nerve and brain information, neutralizes, oxidizes, breakdown, converts substances, reduces, builds another substance, and is unchanged by radiation and high temperatures. Melanin is inside and outside the body. The more melanin a race has, the more humane and civilized the race. Science myths, theory, have clouded and avoided the true information about melanin and the pineal gland that secretes melanin. Melanin is the vital chemical that makes life itself. It is usually brown to black in color. Melanin is a flexible like plastic, can resemble a cloud, gas, wood, metal, or liquid, and takes on many forms without losing its structure. It is heat resistant, can endure temperatures of 1,225 degrees Fahrenheit, has a pleasant odor, resists X-ray diffraction, resists strong acids and alkaline, etc. Melanin is found in the environment, springs, lakes, soil, plants, atmosphere, and animals. The pituitary gland, which is a gland in the middle of the brain that secretes growth hormones, has been erroneously called the master gland. However, the pineal gland, which is also in the middle of the brain, is the true master gland. The pineal gland secretes melanin, which regulates all bodily functions and glands, cycles, circadian rhythms in the body. Melanin is a biochemical that has a high molecular weight. This means it has many functions and links like a chain that contains carbon, nitrogen, ether, saturated carbon-carbon, unsaturated carbon-carbon, organometallic peroxides, and is essentially a black carbon hydroamine. These various links allows melanin to be a polymer, takes many forms, and polycyclic, many rhythms, and have a unique property and flexible chemical ability. Melanin is made by cells called melanocytes. Inside the melanocytes are smaller organs, organelle, called melanosome, which make melanin. Inside the endoplasmic reticulum, the melanosomes are made. In other words, small cells build bigger cells build larger cells, and the end product of all the building from a small particle into a larger particle is the chemical melanin. Melanin essentially produces itself with substances such as copper. Melanin absorbs all types of energy, such as sunlight, electromagnetic, music heard by the human ear, and sounds the human ear cannot hear, phone waves, radio waves, radar, computer.
Melanin absorbs these electromagnetic frequencies. Black man, why you think your music is the most deadliest music out here? Hindsight, right? Let's just say you don't believe in all of that. Okay. They say that numbers don't lie. I don't believe that. Numbers do fucking lie. But the mathematics don't lie. But the data is the data. The raw data is the data. And the amount of warriors that they've stripped from and taken from these communities. And they didn't always take them. We gave ourselves. We gave ourselves freely. But you ever hear the story about the sirens? If you ever went to an elementary school, in social studies, they teach you Greek mythology. You ever hear about the sirens who sing a lullaby and the sailors would come, attracted to them, and then they would kill the sailors? You don't understand that they've already done. I'm not lying to you. I wish I was making this shit up just to sound good. I promise you I'm not. They already understand the science to manipulate you through different frequencies. I swear to God. One of those frequencies being music. You ever hear somebody rap and they just start killing people in their fucking raps? Shit be crazy. They be dead ass serious too. It's not a real fucking person that they talking about, but I can tell you this: whoever they talking about is black, right? They don't know who they wrote this song for, but they do know they wrote it for a black man, just to let the next black man know, you ought to fucking kill you, ought to take your life. Woo! That's powerful. They even indoctrinated you to think that if you do not think like that, then you pussy. Pussy, son. Be around no pussy ass niggas. Niggas, shut up. You're gonna be around all niggas in a second. All niggas. You ain't gonna be around no females, my nigga. Shut up. And you're gonna be happy with that. Because in your head, you went out like a real nigga. And I just want to let you know. Call me square, whatever. You did not go out like a real nigga. You just went out, my nigga. You just went the fuck out. Now I know you got something to offer. I know you got something to offer. But we don't got time. Listen, I'm not your real father. I'm a general, my nigga. I'm not your real father. So if you're gonna join this war, I can't be patting you on the back saying that, yo, I know you got potential in you. Nigga, man up! What the fuck? We need more soldiers out here. Is you a warrior or is you not? Or you just want to be in the box all day? All you gotta do is be quiet a lot of times, and you learn a lot. I just listen to these jail stories. Niggas talking about how they was blood this, blood that. Yo, I was in the mountains, just that and the third. Just keep on listening. Then you find out this nigga was locked up in a fucking box for 2 years, away from the action. Now what he gonna do is resort to, yeah, but it's crazy in the box too though, my nigga. You could lose your mind. Yeah, well, I hear you talking. Jail is not a fun fucking place. It's hell. But you was safe away from getting fucking cut. Or in any other danger. Furthermore, you went through all that shit. Why would you come out and even act like you still with that type of activity if you know it hurt you that bad? Can I say it hurt you that bad? Am I allowed to say that? Or it would make you a pussy nigga if I said it hurt you that bad? But in fact, it did hurt you to be in that box. It did not feel good. And in fact, you wasn't able to do anything about it. Because if you would have been able to do something about it, you would have did something about it. So I find it insulting that you would come outside back home after doing 20, 25, 30 years and push fucking ignorance, death to you niggas. Not jail. Either get out the way or death to you niggas. You either build or destroy. We don't have time. These people just voted. They didn't even have to vote. The United States didn't have to vote. They could have just abstained. But as arrogant as they are, they said, no, we'll vote. please. You can mark me down as saying, no, we do not think that the Atlantic slave trade was a crime against humanity. God damn. That's cold-blooded. That tell you who these niggas are right then and there. Fuck, boy. That's crazy. Let's continue on with the melanation. I need you to listen.
Radiation, X-ray, cosmic rays, ultraviolet rays, heat waves, microwaves, etc. Melanin uses the energy in the total environment, such as water energy, Earth, Moon, Sun, galaxy, cycles of planets, cycles of minerals, etc. On the molecular level, the melanin particles called electrons, protons, neutrons, and solitons rearrange their orbits. This is called resonance. In other words, the melanin particles vibrate and rearrange themselves to fill the weak, low energy sites. Resonance causes a particle to move. This movement causes a small gap, low energy site, and the other particles rearrange themselves to double bond shift, fill the gap. Melanin is the natural chemical that makes black people's skin black. It is present in black people's bodies, skin, cells, nerves, brain, muscles, bones, reproductive and digestive systems, and all bodily functions in a higher amount than all other races. Melanin is a biological active substance of various size cells. It is made of nutrients such as indoles, histamines, phenylalanine, catecholamines, norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine, etc., and the amino acid tyrosine. Melanin is made of various attached parts called chains, which are linked to unsaturated carbon-carbon, saturated carbon-carbon, carbon-nitrogen, organometallic, ether, peroxides, and quinine, which are brown to black in color. Chemicals such as flavin, pteridines, flavonoid, naphthoquinone, polycyclic quinone, anthraquinone, phenoxazones convert into melanin, polymerize, or copolymerize. The color of melanin appears as black because it is absorbing all colors. Once the color enters the melanin, it cannot escape. Melanin is concentrated colors. It is a cellular black hole, similar to the black holes in outer space. The human eye only sees colors that are reflected away from an object. If an object appears black in color, that means that the object is absorbing all colors except black. Black is reflected away from the object. Consequently, you see black. Black is a pigment, color, that makes carbon black in appearance. Melanin. Melanin is an organic dark carbon chemical pigment substance. Melanin gives black people's eyes iris a brown color and gives the dark color to their hair, skin, and the substantia nigra of the brain. This is an area of the brain where the cerebrum connects to the pons. Melanin is secreted by the pineal gland. The pineal gland has a pine cone shape, is reddish in color, and the stem of it is approximately ½ an inch in length, and the head of it is slightly smaller than a green pea, and the total weight is about 2 grams. The pineal gland consists of nerve cells similar to those in the retina nerve of the eye. The retina nerve is inside the eyeball and receives light stimulation, which it transmits to the brain. The pineal gland is found inside a fluid-filled space inside the middle of the brain called the third ventricle, and it is attached inside the ventricle. The pineal stimulates the growth of the nervous system's cerebrum, thinking brain part called gray matter. Therefore, an understimulated pineal in childhood can decrease thinking ability in adulthood. The melanin content of the nerves is highest in black people. Melanin allows nerve messages to travel fast without resistance, causing superconductivity. Black people have the highest amount of melanin on the upper part of the spinal cord brainstem, where the lower part of the brain connects to the spinal cord. The melanin concentrates on the brain's locus coeruleus in the fourth ventricle and reticular formation, black dots. This causes the brain to store more information and function at a high level. The function of the body's melanin and the brain's melanin is reduced by steroids, cortical adrenals, stimulants, synthetic speeds, cocaine, caffeine, antidepressants, anticholinergics, and unnatural light. The pineal helps to regulate.
Stop. Who remembers 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago when most of the doctors was just out here pushing steroids for no matter what happened, what you got, they kept on pushing steroids. My people perish for lack of knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge.
Cortical adrenals, stimulants, synthetic speeds, cocaine, caffeine, antidepressants, anticholinergics, and unnatural light. The pineal helps to regulate the hypothalamus gland's release factors that stimulate the pituitary to secrete the follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, and aids the luteinizing hormone, LH. FSH stimulates the ovaries and the movement of sperm, and LH stimulates egg and sperm production. Consequently, a black person with an understimulated pineal, or one that uses drugs or eats processed junk foods, will harm the pineal and have reproductive problems.
The first time I made $100,000, I had to work 2 jobs just to make the $100,000. I think they call it moonlighting. I was an IT manager, and then I was like a cognitive engineer downtown on Wall Street. They wasn't paying me what they changed my title, and they didn't want to pay me a different salary. And everybody said I was bugging. And I knew it wasn't right. And I'm like, can you change somebody's fucking title and responsibility without changing their salary? And furthermore, I got hired as a service management support, and now you telling me I'm gonna be a cognitive engineer. These other dudes is getting paid $109 out the jump. Anyway, I found a way to make my little $117,000 a year. So I'm making 117. Well, whatever my wife is bringing in, we doing about 200. And then we was able to go. No bullshit. I'm not telling you this because we still below the real middle class, right? We still below. So this is not a flex or a brag. What I'm about to tell you is now we feel like we can afford good food. So now we can afford to go to Whole Foods at the time in White Plains. And we go to Trader Joe's right there in Scarsdale to go get our food. My point is, if I don't make enough to eat clean, but here's my other point. Y'all still sabotaging the salaries. So it feels like a goddamn gauntlet that if I make it through the snares, if I avoid all the traps, from getting arrested with the wrong people, ending up in jail for trying to bust a move, doing things the right way. I got through all this shit, right? I done played a few dice games without getting shot. I done smoked a few joints without roach spray or fentanyl being in my shit. I done went raw dog without waking up with the, We done got through all this shit. I did it the way you say do it, go to school, this, that, and the third. I got the fucking paper. I get the paper. And you still won't offer me a salary that I could comfortably live on. And somehow you have interwoven this into the whole process of being hired. And what I mean by that, one time, Asian kid, I was working with him to get me a job. What they call them, headhunters or whatever. People that find you a job. When he seen my shit, he was excited. He was like, "Oh, we got it. You good." He was highly impressed by my resume. And yet, he sounded so defeated when I spoke to him. A few days later, he sounded so defeated. He sounded defeated because he said, "Yo, I hate this shit." I said, "What's up, bro?" He said, "Yo, they keep offering you less money." Then he said, "Yo, I brought this other kid to him that was white." He said, "I know they doing this because of your race." And I just laughed. He was frustrated. I just laughed. I say that because it's hard for some people to eat healthy. But I also say that because I want you to know you gotta eat. So I'm not telling you what to eat and where to eat and eat something else. If you don't have the fucking money to eat healthy, I don't. I just want you to know it's not by mistake. A lot of this is by design. So what happens is, and what's more than likely going to happen, this is the change is not going to happen collectively. What's going to happen, because a lot of people are followers, you have to change. You have to stand for something. Then somebody next to you that's been watching you, they're going to change. They're going to stand on business. That's how the shit go. So don't wait for nobody else. Don't wait for it to be cool to change and stand on principles and stuff. You don't need no fucking religion. You just gotta be tired of these motherfuckers playing in your face. That's it.
The processed foods and drugs impact the pineal. The pineal regulates insulin levels, the adrenal cortex, and the adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH. ACTH is secreted by the pituitary and is essential for physical and mental growth and development. In other words, a black person's level of thinking, mental growth needed to solve their race's problems cannot be achieved with a low amount of melanin caused by an understimulated pineal. The melanin secreted by the pineal aids the posterior pituitary's effect on the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin stimulates uterine contraction during the birth of a baby. Oxytocin is similar to morphine. It is one of the main hormones that causes people to bond to each other, mother and child, man and woman, friends with friends. Black people with inadequate...
Keep that shit in your pants. You don't gotta run around having sex with everything. Because just in case that nobody ever told you, females, you can get pregnant by having sex. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you didn't know. So I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. I'm gonna assume nobody ever told you that you could get fucking pregnant if you have sex. Why am I telling you that? Because you apparently are out here having sex with the wrong motherfucker. You're having kids with somebody you shouldn't be having kids with. And your actions is not just affecting you, it's affecting everybody. Because this jerk off, smirk off is not fucking around helping you raise the kid. A child needs two parents. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I said what I said. You can get pregnant if you're having sex. Again, I don't know if you know this because you got like fucking wild kids by different fucking guys. Yo, I'm not here to judge. I just want to tell you, just in case the doctor didn't tell you. I'm not gonna assume. If I assume, I make an ass out of myself. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't want to make an ass out of me. So I'm not gonna assume that you know that by having raw fucking sex with random fucking guys that you don't even have a plan with, that you don't even know if you like. We gotta do better. We can't co-sign the stupid shit. We can't afford to. Because it takes two parents. I'm telling you right now. I got a teacher right now playing fucking stupid ass games that she will lose. Playing around with my daughter. My daughter's an A student. Honor society. She's in 8th grade and already picked up by a fucking college. Dumbass teacher, second marking period in a row, is sitting around talking about she lost this paperwork. My daughter never submitted this. I taught my daughter already to take pictures of everything she handed in. So you're a fucking liar. Plus, you think because I'm in the truck I can't see what's going on? No, that's my wife's job. She's looking at everything, every assignment that's being handed in. It takes two fucking people. So let's stop taking it so light, like, oh, I just need to get out here and bust a nut. You need to calm your silly ass down. Or you could bag it up.
With melanin levels will have problems getting along together, unity, forming positive groups, and will constantly destroy each other. They will lack the energy to sustain unity because natural bodily made sugars regulated by melanin cannot be utilized. This is the result of inadequate insulin. The pancreas insulin hormone takes the natural sugars, not white sugar, etc., out of the blood and puts it into tissue. The melanin S inability to regulate insulin causes mood swings, irritability, and low energy. The liver's ability to make bile is potentiated by melanin. The pineal's melanin hormones act on the liver, and if inadequate, this will decrease the gallbladder's digestive bile fluid secretion. This results in unstable energy and moods. The pineal stimulates the nervous system and the brain. Consequently, brain function is compromised, and the type of thinking needed to create ideas to solve emotional, mental, and spiritual problems is not sufficient. The pineal gland's ability to secrete melanin is sunlight dependent. The sun radiates full color spectrums of light. Full spectrum light striking the eye's retina nerve stimulates the pineal gland to secrete melanin. Melanin turns into serotonin hormone and melatonin hormone. Black people that spend vast amounts of time indoors and out of sunlight or are exposed to the visual pollution of artificial light, sunglasses, television, reflected light of concrete, bricks, highways and buildings, window glass, contact lens, monitors, television screens and fluorescent lights, wireless cell phones, earphones and cars tend to have mild depression, a polluted environment, public drinking water, noise pollution, negative moods or social situations, acidic bodily conditions, lack of exercise, processed foods, synthetic drugs and computers, decreased melanin production and the stimulation of the pineal. This visual pollution can result in mild depression because the pineal gland is deprived of sunlight and exposed to negative stimulation. When children are deprived of sunlight, it can cause physical and emotional problems. Children who spend many hours indoors, school buildings, playing video games, viewing television, and using artificial light are deprived of sunlight. Sunlight deprivation results in an understimulated pineal, causing the child to grow up and become an adult with decreased reproductive function, decreased gonad weight. In adult animals that have no reproductive organ, gonad, due to castration, the pineal gets small and the pituitary gets large. Sunlight deprivation decreases the stimulation of the pineal, almost similar to a castration state condition, which causes one to conclude that the same effect happens with people equals pineal shrinks and pituitary enlargement. The under-stimulated pineal decreases, inhibits the reproductive organs, gonads, response to gonad otrophins. This causes a decreased weight of the ovaries and testicles. The pineal gland increases sperm production and helps with female fertility. The pineal gland increases progesterone hormone made by the corpus luteum. Also, the pineal S melanin secretions help produce melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that synchronizes the rhythmicity of the body. It helps to control the circadian rhythm. The body has a circadian cycle rhythm for digesting food. Food ideally should be eaten from 12 noon to 2 p.m., metabolized into the blood from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m., and from 4 a.m. to noon, the body is cleansing. The pineal gland secretion of melanin converts into serotonin, then melatonin. These hormones need darkness and sunlight to stabilize the rhythm of the body. Sunlight deprivation destabilizes the circadian rhythm, causing seasonal affective disorder, SAD. This is associated with abnormal melatonin activity. SAD depression symptoms can be relieved with daily exposure to sunlight and to full-spectrum artificial light bulbs and the use of melatonin supplement. Melatonin supplements, along with optimum nutrition, adequate darkness, and sunlight are vital. Melatonin release is stimulated by noradrenaline, norepinephrine, low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, darkness, and dopamine. The addition of a melatonin supplement helps dopamine to calm the emotions and body, helps tryptophan to make serotonin, helps stop antibodies produced by corticosteroids, decreases the growth of certain types of cancers, causes sedation and sleep, and decreases the growth of tumors. Melatonin is dependent upon melanin, and melanin is dependent upon the pineal gland and healthy nutrition. Melanin hormones. The pineal gland makes alkaloids. An alkaloid is an organic, means contains carbon substance that reacts to salts. A salt in chemistry is a chemical compound that is created when an acid and alkaline substance interact. A salt has a positive charged electrical element other than hydroxyl, commonly called acid, because the alkaloids react to salt that uses them. Salts are used in the body to maintain stable nerves, water balance, regulate the blood volume, are essential for digestion enzymes, hormones, control thickness of the blood, coagulation, pressure inside cells, osmotic, respiratory pigments, and acid-base balance. This means that melanin hormones are the primary controller of human life itself. The salts referred to are not table salt, chemically known as the poison sodium chloride. Chloride is a type of bleach, but the salt of sulfates, phosphates, chloride, carbonates, bicarbonates, which are combined with calcium, magnesium, and potassium. The alkaloid serotonin hormone is stimulated by sunlight and full spectrum artificial light. It is secreted into the blood during daylight hours. Serotonin connects to other substances, polymerizes, and forms into melanin. It causes muscles to contract, blood vessels to constrict, regulates blood pressure, and has the ability to alter consciousness, improvise other realities. Consequently, the heightened ability to create spontaneously, improvise, is a characteristic of Black people's music, that is jazz, dance, acting, dress styles, hairstyles, language usage, inventions, science, art, and culture. The alkaloid melatonin is made by the pineal gland. It is secreted into the blood after sunset and reaches its highest levels around 10 p.m. This alkaloid connects to other substances, polymerizes, and forms melanin. It helps maintain, repair, and build brain and nerve tissue. Consequently, it is good for all brain and nerve damage diseases such as lupus, Alzheimer's, attention deficient, a form of senility, Parkinson, senility, memory loss, numbness, and tingling of nerves.
I don't know why the volume keeps going down like that, but I will try to release this once I figure out why the volume is going up and down.
Melanin synchronizes body functions, helps to maintain the circadian rhythm, stimulates secretion of milk and contractions of the uterus, triggers puberty, increases electrical brainwave activity, regulates blood pressure, induces sleep, stimulates improvising, and gives a positive effect on emotions and creates a feeling of well-being and joy. The alkaloids serotonin and melatonin contain a similar structure as other alkaloids. It is the aromatic benzene structure and amino groups that cause the melanin hormones to easily chemically merge with dangerous drugs such as crack, Ritalin, cocaine, caffeine, codeine, morphine, mescaline, etc. Black people with their higher melanin content are twice as addicted to synthetic drugs than other races. White domination, which uses the myth of white supremacy defended by white racism, have created and maintained the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, global, social, and cultural oppression of Black people. This causes Black people to take drugs, use sex, violence, white sugar, gambling, and abuse of each other to emotionally and psychologically escape the oppressive condition. A social condition created by white domination that causes Black people to socially, emotionally, and physically kill themselves is by definition genocide. The drugs kill and have an effect on the mind and the physical body of Black people, which means they act upon melanin. The drugs are anti-melanin and against Black culture. The many substances which are made from melanin are good in the correct concentration, that is alkaloids, and ratios. Alkaloids are organic nitrogen substances which are destructive, corrosive, metallic hydroxides, ammonium carbonates. When alkaloids are made by the human body, they are not harmful because they are at the correct proportion and concentrations. The pineal gland makes the unharmful alkaloids serotonin and melatonin. Aside from this, the body makes many toxic chemicals at the correct unharmful concentration, such as alcohol, ammonia, bleach, hydrochloric acid, lye, sulfuric acid, etc. However, when synthetic, man-made chemicals are consumed, they bond and incorporate themselves into melanin and generate harmful chemical species that can attack the body at any given moment. This attack can be limulated by normal body activity as well as negative emotions and social activities. Melanin dominate black people are highly susceptible to these attacks because they consume synthetic chemicalized junk foods, beverages, drugs, and cosmetics. These chemical reactions are related to melanin dominate black people who do not know they have studied melanin.
They should know they study melanin. I told them, beloved. I wrote a new song today. I'm gonna leave you with that song. I came in with the song, but I'll leave you with it too. I got 3 versions, and I don't know which one to play, but let's try this one.
They chase me, though they can't erase me, though they incarcerate me. It doesn't kill me, it just awakes me. There's God in me. There's God in me. There's God in me. There's God in me.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think that one is gonna make the album, but I don't think any of these are gonna make the album right now. They gotta be fixed. Here's the other version.
Makes me, they can't break me. They taunt and they chase me, but they can't erase me, though they incarcerate me. It doesn't kill me, it just awakes me. That's God, that's God in me. That's God, that's God in me. That's God, that's God in me. That's God in me.
He got Jimi Hendrix at the end. He got really Jimi Hendrix at the end. Anyway, I'll let you know which one will be on the album. Don't forget everything I said tonight. Don't worry about hitting the like button and all that funny shit. Just stand on fucking business, because there's no white God coming to save you. Knock it the fuck off. You want to know who's coming to save you? Go find a mirror. That person right there in the mirror. That's the only person that's going to come and save you. All right? That's the God in me. You understand? Melanin. Have a good night. Peace.